It took me to go to prison just for me to realize what they was doing to us. I was only 15 years old when the U.S. Marshals and the Joint Task Force came and arrested me in my 9th grade, 4th bail, in front of my whole classroom like I was a mass murderer. And months later, as I stood in the doorway of my cell, looking out that small window in juvenile prison, I saw hundreds of faces of children. And it was at that moment that I realized exactly what they was doing to us. If you looked closely, it wasn't hard to see the play that they was putting down. But the thing is, most people never looked. I was fortunate enough to where God put it plainly in my sight so I couldn't miss it. And it was then I chose to be different. It was then that I chose to do things differently. And I chose to create a different path for myself other than the one that the system had created for me from birth. At the time, I honestly didn't know the battles that I would endure in my self-development process. But in a lot of ways, it was worse than my life of crime because more people encourage you to do the wrong thing versus doing the right thing. So when I decided to choose a side, a lot of my peers wanted nothing to do with me anymore. I'm now able to realize that that's only because they was intimidated by my growth. When you begin outperforming someone you was just on the same level with for years, they'll begin start saying things like, you're changing, instead of matching your energy, because they know that the change is in the right direction, but they won't match your energy because deep down, they don't feel like they can for real. Of course, they gonna play it off like they don't care or like you lame all of a sudden, but for real, they really admire you and your growth. They just don't think they could do it like you. And even worse, they know they can't do it like you. So they just remain doing the same thing that they've been doing their whole life. Nothing but hating on the next person who's making moves and progressing, taking chances. When they see that you have managed to somehow escape the cycle, they don't like it because they wonder, how did you figure it out? They think, how dare you do something different than what they said you could do? How dare you be something different than what they said you could be? How dare you change the game? But I had to. My life depended on it. My soul depended on it, and my mind depended on me doing something different. If I did, I wouldn't have survived. I would have died a long time ago. And when I mean died, I mean giving up. When I was just 13 years old, my big brother lost his mind. And when I mean he lost his mind, I mean he checked out. He stopped talking. He stopped going outside. He wouldn't even look at us no more. It was as if he was possessed. No longer the big brother that I grew up with and known my whole life. And at the time, nobody could actually say what was wrong with him or what happened. But I later learned that life had happened to my big brother. You never know how life could take a toll on someone. So if you can tackle the daily struggles of life while staying sane, give yourself some credit and always acknowledge that there are others out here that may look fine, but they may be going through things that you would never imagine. I really appreciate all the genuine love and support from everybody who's been keeping up with my content. We currently on the road to 600 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of y'all, because without y'all, none of this would be possible. I'm actually living out my dreams by sharing my story in hopes to prevent the next little homie from making that one mistake that will ultimately change his life forever. So if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for me. Until next time, the only thing stronger than me and you is us. And 7 up until we have enough. Peace.